Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you a lot of really great dupes. So I'm going to show you how to get a really similar look to the high-end side using only affordable products. The brand Bronx contacted me and wanted me to try out some of their products, and I have used some of them in this video. I was really impressed with the products and I wanted to share them with you guys. So I think we could just go ahead and get started with the video. So I'm starting with primer, of course, and I have these two primers that I think are really great dupes. The prime time is a little bit more silicone-y, but the finish on the skin and how they make my foundation look is very, very similar. They're both a standard primer that makes your foundation last a little bit longer, it mattifies your skin a little bit more, and it smooths the skin a little bit. So it's just like a good standard primer, and I like both of these just as much. I love having a glowy skin, so these are perfect to get a little bit of extra glow underneath your foundation. They're really great dupes. The only difference with these is that I think the MAC Strobe Cream has a little bit more shimmer, and the other one is just a little bit more like a glowy cream with a tiny bit of sheen in it. But they are really similar on the skin, but that's like the only difference with them. But I like them both a lot. Color correcting has been very popular lately, so I wanted to try these green concealers, and I was super impressed with both of them. I thought that they were both just as good. Honestly, I think they were really, really great. So I just apply this underneath the foundation, so I will cover like the green up with the foundation and concealer afterwards, because right now it does look a little bit weird, but I actually love both of these and I will highly recommend both of them. But you will save a lot of money on trying the Bronx one, so I would actually really recommend the Bronx one over the Urban Decay one actually in this category, because I think the Bronx one was just as good. So here you can see it was super easy to blend out, and I really, really enjoyed that concealer. I was so happy to find a really nice dupe to the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation, because it is one of my favorite foundations. So I think they work really, really nice. I think the consistency, the quality, and the longevity of the foundations are really, really similar. I think the MAC Studio Fix foundation stays a little bit more matte a little bit longer, but the finish you get with the Bronx one I really do enjoy. So I think they are really, really nice, both of them. I can't really choose my favorite, but the MAC one I've used for years, so that's like a holy grail foundation. But I was super impressed with the Bronx one, and I really, really, really recommend it. For this dupe, I don't think that the consistency is the same. The Too Faced one is a little bit more liquidy, and the other one is a little bit more moussey. But the finish you get on your skin and how long they last, how little they crease, and just things like that makes them very, very similar. But if you want the consistency that the Too Faced concealer has, this is not really the same, but I think that they look really, really similar on the skin, and I think they're both really, really great concealers. I like them both underneath the eyes and also on like blemishes and redness on the skin. You guys know how much I love the Light Boost highlight pen from MAC, so I was so happy to find this one from L'Oreal that I think is very, very similar. Like the color is so similar. The only difference with this one is that the Maybelline one is a little bit more matte, and the MAC one is a little bit more radiant. So I think that's the only difference. I don't really mind the L'Oreal being a little bit more matte, but my all-time favorite is the MAC Light Boost pen, and I think I will still enjoy that one a lot and use that one a lot. But it's really great to have a nice dupe for it, because this is truly very, very similar. Then for cream bronzer, I love the Chanel Soleil Tennis Chanel, but I also love the Bourjois Bronzing Primer. The consistency of this one is a little bit different, so you can see here that the Chanel one is more of a cream, and it is super amazing. I honestly love this cream bronzer. It's one of the only like high-end products that I think is truly worth trying out. It's so beautiful on the skin. And this one from Bourjois is really great, but as you can see, it has a little bit of a different consistency, but it does look very similar on the skin because they're both like a cream bronzer. This is so easy to blend out, and I've used so much of it, so I really like this one. Then to set everything, I have these two powders that the price difference is ridiculous on this one, but I honestly think that the Giorgio Armani one is a little bit overpriced for what it is. But it is a really pretty powder, and I love the color of it. It gives me a really nice healthy glow, and I love the way that it sets my face without making my skin super matte. But I think the Bronx one is really great as well, and I think it looks very similar on the skin. But I actually think the Bronx one is just as good. I know that's crazy, but I honestly think it's really nice. And I love to bake my under eye, so here we have a really nice dupe. This one is from Mayo, I think it's called. And I think this looks very similar on the under eye, so it's a great dupe if you don't want to spend $50 on the Sensai powder. But the Sensai powder is still my favorite. I love it. It is like nothing else. It looks beautiful underneath the eyes, but I think the Mayo one looked very similar underneath the eyes. Then for probably my favorite dupe ever, it is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I honestly think the NYX one is better than the Anastasia one. I buy the NYX one over the Anastasia anytime, and I absolutely love it. So I think the only thing that sucks with the NYX one is the color range, but the color ash brown works for pretty much everyone. So I would just recommend you guys to try the color ash brown because that one is just a beautiful color, and I think you guys will love the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. So here we have eyeshadow primer. I must say I like the Urban Decay one a lot better. I think it is the best eye primer that I've ever used, but the Bronx one works nice and it does make my eyeshadow last longer. But if you want like the best ever, I would just say splurge and get the Urban Decay one. But if you don't have the money for it, the Bronx one is a great option. Right here, I just looked closely to my skin and I was so impressed with how everything looked. Then for eyeshadow palette, the Undercover eyeshadow palette from Bronx is very similar to the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. Like, it is a exact dupe. The only difference with this palette is the Urban Decay eyeshadows are a little bit more pigmented and a little bit more metallic. So the shimmery ones are a lot more metallic than the one from the Bronx palette, but that only means that the Bronx one is a little bit more of a natural palette. So I think either way you will enjoy both of these palettes. I do like both of them a lot, but I do enjoy the Urban Decay shimmery eyeshadow better. But for the matte shadows, I think the Bronx one is just as good, and you can just see in the end here that the finished result is very similar. I was super impressed. So I just wanted to show you guys a quick little look. So I just used the color Tease from the Urban Decay palette and the similar color in the Bronx palette. And then I used the color Busted, which you guys couldn't see right there. But I'm just using that one to deepen up the crease a little bit more. And on the other eye, I'm also using the same eyeshadow, but like, it doesn't have a name, but the same type of eyeshadow in that other palette. And I think that both of these were really nice. And as you can see, it does look very similar. So here I'm just mixed two eyeshadows, and as you can see, it looks super pretty and metallic on this eye. For the Bronx palette, I had to pack it on a little bit more and apply a lot more layers to get like a similar type of look on the eye. This one is kind of a fail because I was actually going to show you guys the MAC Fluid line instead of the Inglot one, because the Inglot one is not that expensive, and I think that the Bronx one is the most similar to the MAC Fluid line in Black Track, because I think the Bronx one is a super amazing dupe for the MAC liner. I would highly recommend this gel liner. I am going to use some false lashes so you can't really see the eyelashes underneath, and I do think that the Urban Decay one is a lot better in this category, but the other one is great to use underneath false lashes just to kind of darken your own lashes. It's nice for that. It stays on long and it is quite nice. For contour kits, I think that the Anastasia Contour Kit and NYX Contour Palette is very, very similar. The NYX one, you get a lot more colors. So the banana color from Anastasia is nice to highlight underneath the eyes. But I think the cream one from NYX is just as good, and I like that one just as much, and it is a lot cheaper. That one is really nice just to set the highlight areas. Then for contour, I think the Java color from Anastasia is a great color. So I just use that one to contour my face and just like sculpt my face. So on the drugstore side, I'm using the Sculpt color from the NYX palette, and I think that one is beautiful as a contour shade. For blush, this is probably also one of my favorite dupes ever. I love the Milani Luminoso, but I also love the Benefit one. But in this one, I would just say go for the drugstore one. I think it is so good, and I do like it actually better than the Benefit one. So here you save a lot of money. This is a little bit of a weird dupe because the other one is a palette, but the Strobe Genius palette is so awesome, and the color right next to the Soft and Gentle one that I just showed you is very similar to Soft and Gentle. So here you see the Soft and Gentle highlight. I think that one is really pretty, but I must say I like the NYX palette better, and this color is beautiful, and I do like this color better than the Soft and Gentle one. This dupe is seriously awesome. I love Kat Von D and Lolita, but I also love the Soft Spoken Liquid Suede from NYX. They are really, really similar. The only thing is that the Kat Von D dries a little bit more matte, and the NYX one stays a little bit more like hydrating and sticky, if you will. But I honestly think that they are both just as beautiful. I love both of these. So hope you guys liked this video and like that I showed you so many awesome dupes. I really enjoyed making this video, so I hope you guys liked it too. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye guys!